To get access to this tool and any of our other tools that you might use in your real estate practice, visit leasix.agency/ultimate guide to register today. Don't forget that you can also subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on our latest tutorials and overviews of how AI can help you grow your real estate business and maximize the value of your time. Content marketing is one of the most important parts of your marketing strategy. Given that your clients enter at the front end of the customer value journey and they have to have a reason to trust you, that you can't pitch marriage on the first date, you have to have great content that helps them see the vision of how you solve problems. But the problem in having an aggressive content strategy is you have to spend time doing it. And today's tutorial is all about how you can use the scheduling grid form and some prompts with information that you hopefully already have to create a content calendar that is easy, simple, and focused for you to execute. This is the same method that we use inside of our own agency and have created an extremely robust content calendar, including the video you're watching today, by focusing on our schedule. So what you see in this document is a calendar, a scheduling grid for 52 weeks of content. When we go all the way to the bottom, we have 52 weeks of 7 days, scheduled all the way down day by day, Monday through Sunday. And when you take it over, you can see that those 52 weeks equate into 364 different content threads. Now, a content thread is essentially a pillar piece of content and a series of splinter pieces of content. A pillar piece is a video much like this. It provides detailed analysis, provides detailed guidance on how it is that you can use tools or understand how to solve a challenge. Blog posts are another great example. And in fact, you can see here that we have two different types of pillar content pieces that we use, videos and blogs, for the coming year. Now you can splinter off that content, which essentially means you repurpose it. You take little nuggets of wisdom, little nuggets of information, little clips from your videos, and provide them again so that people can access that knowledge and wisdom and information in little bite-sized pieces, and then hopefully say, well, I'd love to learn more, so they chase that core piece of content and other core pieces of content that you might have. The idea here being is that you don't have to create a unique piece totally from scratch for every platform that you're on every single day. But by focusing on the pillar and splinter strategy, you can easily create AI employees that simplify the process of content creation. And in fact, in our particular case, we have an AI system that writes our blog posts that then allows us to make the edits for that blog post within about 5 to 10 minutes. We create manually tutorial content like this, but content that is pre-planned for our audiences, and we use Notebook LM to create overview and deep dive conversations using that platform to summarize research on a particular topic. And then we have AI employees created for each of these different platforms, because that's our splinter strategy, is to repurpose content for specific platforms. And those AI employees are trained on best practices as well as our brand voice for each of these. There is no magic formula for how you create a pillar or splinter strategy. The focus should be on how you connect your audience, how you help solve their problems, and how you give value in advance. If you want to create a splinter strategy that is focused on themes, you can do that. If you want to focus your splinter strategy on products or services, you can do that too. The goal here is that you create a consistent way of doing this. Now, the sample grid that you can see inside the document shows you what this might look like. And in this particular case, this is a daily posting schedule. So you can see starting on Monday, March 3rd, we post a blog and then a video, and then it splinters all the way down from there. So we have a Splinter Facebook post, Splinter Instagram post, LinkedIn, Google, and all the way down. Each of these posts are essentially splintered into 8, 9 subsequent pieces of content. So each of those content threads will cover a total of 10 weeks with one piece of content each week. And when you start to add all of that up, you start to see that you are producing a tremendous amount of content in a very short amount of time. Now, again, it's not as if we write each blog post manually. It could take a ton of time to do that. But we do use a platform called Brandwell, the link to which is in the description below, that you can use to absolutely write blog content. And from a video perspective, these tutorials, like I'm showing you now, are created by just screen recording on Loom, using Descript to edit and modify and clean up those files, mixed with templates to be able to produce something quickly, as well as Notebook LM for the deep dive discussion type content you might see. And then my staff from there just uses the trained AI employees to understand what they need to create from the transcript of the videos or the blog post, what they can do for each of these particular Splinter type pieces. All told, takes probably about 10 to 15 hours per month to create all of this content. Now, the great thing about this scheduling grid here is that based on how your Splinter is, give yourself a Splinter code for each type of Splinter content, put those codes up here, and then you can actually build an automated counter to say, all right, we're not over posting on a particular platform on a particular day. But you can see having this scheduled out for the year allows us to see that when our full production mode using this model is working, we're posting 9 times a day, all of which is pre-scheduled, all of which is pre-created on various platforms. So we're getting an incredible diversity of content. We're getting an incredible depth of content because it's just answering those core questions. And then at this point, you can use your brand AI assistant to help you build that schedule in a very, very simplified manner. So let's go ahead and head over to ChatGPT and how to use all of this information that you've put together to create a content schedule day by day that allows you to focus your energy and your efforts. This brand GPT is created on our brand guidelines that we've created inside of our 90-minute marketing department. If you have a trained AI employee that can help you with this planning, use it. And in this particular case, we're going to use it to create, using our brand guidelines, a content calendar for our audiences. So the first thing I want to do, and these are variations of prompts that you will have access to inside of the Ultimate Guide, is to just basically understand our audiences that we're building a content calendar for. And I'm taking all of my audience documentation, and boom, we have all of our audiences there, and it just basically says analyze and understand these audiences. Why? Because we're creating content to communicate to our people. We're not just creating content to create content. So once it's doing that, you can see here searching my knowledge, going through all of the training documentation to build an understanding of the audiences that we're trying to communicate to. Now that we've understood our audiences, we can drop in our content calendar that we created here. You just simply download this as a PDF and you can drop it into your chat with the pre-planned prompt that is also included with the Ultimate Guide. So let's drop in that content calendar and scheduling grid that we came up with, and boom. And it will go through the process of understanding the information that you gave it. Now we want to drop in a prompt that essentially helps us identify monthly themes for the content calendar. And you can see here that it just goes month by month, right? Laying foundations, building connections, spring into growth, all the way through the month of December. And then now that we have the monthly themes, we can post a prompt that just tells the AI employee to craft a daily pillar content strategy for the month of January, that focuses on the various types of content that we create. You can see here, strategic planning basics for the first week, financial foundations for the second week, productivity and time management for the third week, marketing and branding foundations for the fourth week. And you can see here that it gives us the implementation notes, and we have a core question that we want to answer for each specific day. So here's all of our pillar content. So when we go into Brandwell to create a blog post, we can create a blog post on how to set realistic annual goals for real estate success in 2025. But considering that our content schedule begins on March 3rd, we can just change that to 2026. Either way, the point being here, we've now cut down into about 10 minutes the time it takes to actually create a content schedule. And because we have AI employees built to help execute all of this, it now takes less time to create valuable content for each of our audiences we are trying to communicate to. All of this said, this takes out the most difficult part of creating a solid, consistent, high-performing content strategy, which is how to consistently create content that connects with the people that you want to connect with. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that the content will automatically just shoot through the roof as a viral piece of content, but you shouldn't be creating content for that purpose. You should be creating content to demonstrate your value. Remember, the goal of every company is to make a profit, and the goal of every person is to maximize the value of their time in creating profit.